The man drinks 10 pounds of water every day, but he never goes to the bathroom. Finally, the day came when the warden inspected the prison. He pretended to feel sick and vomited all over the floor. The warden quickly sent him to the infirmary. After checking him, the doctor said it was caused by drinking tap water for too long. Jack quickly admitted he'd been drinking a lot of tap water recently, and he really needed to go to the bathroom right now. So the doctor called over a nearby prisoner and told him to help Jack get to the restroom. What they didn't know was that this man was Jack's partner. After the two entered the restroom, they quickly opened the top panel and took out the tools they had hidden earlier. They managed to pry open the hanging tissue box. There was a secret tunnel behind it. They both went inside, then quietly put the box back in place, then made their way to the tool room. They grabbed a lidless wooden board and hung it under a delivery truck. The tight space was just enough to hide both of them, and the board could perfectly avoid the guards' inspection mirrors. Soon they escaped the prison by hiding under the truck. Once they reached the destination, they quietly slid out from under the board. A blue sports car had already been prepared here. They got in and quickly drove away. Just like that, the daring prison break was a success. But this was only the first step of their plan. Back in prison, their accomplices saw the time was right and gave the signal to act. A younger inmate went up and provoked the prison boss. The scene quickly turned chaotic. The guards panicked and pressed the alarm button immediately. The prison activated a level 1 lockdown. The warden ordered all areas to be sealed off, which conveniently isolated the doctor's office, so she couldn't notice the escape. A guard tried to call for backup, but was stopped by the warden. If this blew up, he'd lose his job for sure.
We don't have rights at Monroe.
The warden picked up the phone, trying to negotiate with the inmates, hoping they'd release the guards they had taken. He even offered to upgrade their prison meals, but the inmates didn't listen at all. They smeared soy paste on their hands and covered all the security cameras, then used trays and tin foil to seal off every corner of the windows. That way, the warden had no idea what was happening inside the cafeteria. The reason they were doing this was to buy Jack time to sneak back into the prison. It turned out Jack's goal wasn't just to escape, but to use his absence from prison as an alibi, to steal millions in cash from the World Racing Championship vault. Since the event had huge attendance, the organizers used pipeline systems to transfer cash into an underground vault, then collect it all after the event ended. The vault was full of traps and impossible to reach, but the brilliant Jack had already come up with the perfect plan. Once at the venue, he bought a pack of gummy bears, but he wasn't planning to eat them. He took his partner over to a trash bin and jumped into the garbage chute, leading to the lower level. Another teammate was already waiting there. It was a construction site, which had an exposed section of transport pipe. Jack's plan was to blow up one of the pipes directly, to intercept the cash passing through. But clearly, explosives couldn't be brought into the venue. That's when the gummy bears came in handy, mixed with bleach pens and a few extra ingredients. They made a simple homemade bomb. His partner watched in disbelief. Jack patiently explained how the explosion would work, then packed everything into a jar, put it in the pipe and quickly backed off. But they waited a long time and heard nothing. Jack was a little confused.
Don't move. I'm not. Don't breathe. I'm not.
He carefully took the bomb to check it. Turns out the lid was screwed on too tight. After a small adjustment, Jack placed the bomb back in. The pipe blew open instantly. Now all they needed was a powerful vacuum to suck out the money from the vault non-stop. But just as they were celebrating, the smoke from the blast had traveled back through the pipe and reached the cashier's area. The cashier quickly called headquarters to report it, but HQ hadn't received any alarms. Still, they sent 2 guards to check the basement. They ran right into the thieves carrying the cash. The guards stopped them immediately. They asked if the 2 had smelled any smoke.
No, because we both lost our sense of smells when we was little because of the scarlet fever. Yeah.
Although they found them a bit suspicious, the guards still let them go, unaware they had just passed by millions in cash hidden in trash bags. The guards kept investigating further, and sure enough they found signs of smoke in a room ahead. They opened the door and saw an old maintenance man inside. The guards questioned what he was doing, but the man didn't care at all, because he had already been bribed by the thieves, and was paid enough to retire comfortably. So the smoke incident was successfully covered up. The thieves disguised themselves as tourists, and left. But Jack still needed to get back into prison. When the scheduled time arrived, his cellmates started to coordinate the plan. They pulled the pencil from a guard's pocket, took out 2 pencil leads, inserted them into the socket to cause a short circuit and ignite tissue, then burned the whole trash can and placed it near the fire alarm. The prison's fire alarm went off instantly. The warden couldn't see what was happening in the cafeteria, so he had to request help from the fire department. Jack put on the firefighter uniform they had prepared and blended in with the crew to re-enter the prison. While everyone was busy putting out the fire, they crawled out from under the pipe and went back the same way to the infirmary. When the firefighters broke into the cafeteria, they were speechless at what they saw. After all that, it was just a small fire. The prison crisis was over, and all restrictions were lifted. The doctor walked into the infirmary and saw Jack quietly resting inside, completely unaware of what he had done. A flawless prison break and heist had just been perfectly executed.